You might think, nah, I can write whatever I want and I can just leave it be, but that's not true. And the reason for that, in part, is because your knowledge is shallow. And so if you take rather shallow knowledge and then you write something detailed that's false, you end up convincing yourself in all sorts of ways that you don't even notice that what you wrote that was a lie was true. And then you're stuck with that.
Yo, what's up, It's the Hungry Millennial, back again with yet another Proactive Pragmatism. On today's Proactive Pragmatism, we're going to continue with our review of Jordan Peterson's 12 Rules for Life. And today we're going to do a review of Rule 8. Tell the truth, or at least don't lie. So, picture this. It's December 25th. Everybody's talking about their goals. Everybody's opened up their presents. And you and your friend are salivating over the fact that y'all about to hit the gym so hard in 2021. This is New Year's resolution time. You're gonna drop 100 pounds in 1.5 months, and you're gonna be the fittest guy you know when you hit the beach, or gal. You're gonna have them abs just like the bikini models. Whatever floats your boat. But here's the problem that I have with this false sense of truth. You know it, I know it, they know it, lie. And a lot of us get caught up in this lie of what we're going to do and the great things that we're going to accomplish. And it's easy to do so. I've been there. It's easy because when you say things, even though they may not be the truth, your body still releases those good feeling endorphins. And oftentimes, those endorphins are enough to make our body feel like we accomplished the goal. Yet, we haven't experienced the trials and the tribulations of not wanting to get up early in the morning and not wanting to pack our gym bag before we go to bed. So, this rule to me, I've come up with 3 pieces that will help you tell the truth or at least don't lie. So, for myself, these are some things that I do. I like to avoid covert contracts. Stop tallying and start living. Number 2, stop clout chasing. And number 3, stop stunting your personal growth. So, when it comes to avoiding covert contracts, we want to stop tallying and start living. Stop lying to yourself to make yourself feel good about the things that you really didn't accomplish. Often, I look at my old Facebook pictures of when I was 50 or 60 pounds heavier. And I go, and here's the problem with social media. It makes it hurt when you look at your Snapchat and you see all the pictures that you used to take and be like how fit you were and how strong you were in gym goals. But then I fast forward 2 years, 3 years later, after I really started focusing on what I was eating and COVID happened and gym shut down, but I found a way to work out. And I realized back then I was lying to myself. I was convincing myself that I was doing the work. I was doing the best that I possibly could. And by convincing yourself of doing the best you can, you stop trying to strive for greater because it hurts to get outside of your comfort zone. It's easier to blame, hey, you know what? I'm already smart. You know what? I'm already fit. It's harder to say there must be another level here. Can I take it to the next level? But what is easy to do is looking at other people's clout on social media and seeing the goals and the results they've achieved. But the problem is this clout chasing is inauthentic and it will catch up with you. A lot of people are very good at taking pictures at very good angles. So don't fool yourself by comparing yourself to others. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. And that could be just yesterday. It doesn't have to be last week or last month when you missed out on a whole month of gym. It could just be last week. Look at it realistically. Like last week, I went to the gym 3 days a week, but I know that I can do 4 to 5. So we have to create realistic, small, micro goals in between that are going to help us go above and beyond in the macro. The macro always equals the micro. The micro always equals the macro. And you can also say that in vice versa. The macro also equals the micro. Focus on the process and not the goal. So, a lot of people, when they delve into clout chasing, it forces them to not own their deficiencies. Like, I'm not getting up on time. I'm not reaching out to people. I don't have a plan. One of the most discouraging things that you can do is go to the gym just for sake of going to the gym because you don't have a plan. Going to the office without a plan. Going to the office or school or being a student without a notebook, without a pen or a pencil. I was there. And blaming everybody else around you when they don't have an extra pencil. I was that kid in class. I find myself, okay, I get this class, I'm on the playground, I'm talking to the girls, and I'm joking around with the guys, and then we get into class, and then I ask Sarah, because she always got a pencil, and I'm like, hey, Sarah, you got an extra pencil? And she like, nah, I ain't got one. I'm like, what you mean you ain't got one? But that's a lack of me wanting to take responsibility of the situation. I'm lying to myself because I didn't come prepared. Now I'm upset with somebody else, and I'm not taking ownership of the fact that I'm not getting it done because I'm lying to myself, and I'm not telling the truth. I'm lying inadvertently because I made a covert contract with somebody else that doesn't owe me anything. Sarah doesn't owe me a pencil. Life doesn't owe you the resources, but they're there. YouTube is 5 seconds away. Google is 5 seconds away. If you really want it, you can go get it. Often I'm super open to providing feedback on little tips that help me get there with people, when it comes down to their own personal health, their own personal growth, physical fitness, things of that nature, because I do have tools that I have collected along the way. But it gets discouraging when you give feedback after feedback after feedback, and then you see that person on social media smoking and drinking, not going to the gym. You feel like you wasted your time. And so now, I take a different approach of asking them what their goals are. So that way I can utilize emotional intelligence to help motivate them to achieve their goals, because they're their goals, not my goals. So I can't give them the feedback that I would usually give myself. Sometimes I have to dial it back, and sometimes I have to dial it up. But that's the beauty of not telling a lie and getting and looking at the problems for what they are. So this next one thing that telling lies does to you is it stunts your personal growth, because we often we won't try to look for the lie, but we'll try to look for I guess it would be considered a lie. We try to look for the truths in everybody else. So we'll ask a friend, oh girl, how do I look? And that person weighs 100 more pounds than you do. That person is your mom or your dad or your sister or your cousin, and they're not. And it's beautiful because they're like, oh girl, you fine the way you are. Hey bro, nah, you good, bro. You big and strong. Knowing that deep down inside, that anxiety and that resentment is building up, because we're gonna look at everybody else's results and go, man, I could have did that if. I could have executed on that if. Well, if they would have did this, then I would have had my stuff in order. No, you are personally responsible for your own journey. And that's the beautiful part about grace and forgiveness and being able to set new goals, is you can dig out of that rut. But another thing that lying teaches you to do, it teaches you to live on autopilot, and it teaches you to hate yourself because you didn't do the things. And we've got to get to a point in life where we take a proactive approach to our lives, to the things that we're going to do. Okay, I got a project done. So what are the things it takes to get the project done? Okay, maybe I need to start typing. What do I want to say in this project? How do I want this project to look? What do I envision my end result doing? And we can start to weed out those uncomfortable truths and reassess the uncomfortable lies. And we can start eliminating those covert contracts. We can stop clout chasing, because that clout will be internal. We will be happy with who we are. And if you're happy with who you are, you don't need the greatest clout in the world will not affect you. At one point in my life, I got to a point where I didn't do celebrations. I just moved on. I'm like, oh, good. We accomplished that. I'm moving on to the next goal. And by doing that, I'm able to look up at the end, it's like looking into a ravine and seeing how far you came up that ravine, that hill, that set of stairs, and it motivates you to go higher, because you're like, a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, I wasn't able to accomplish these things, but now look at me. So I want you this week, I want you to take a realistic assessment of the things that you're doing, and start telling the truth to yourself. Start telling the truth to your friends, and or at least don't lie, right? Because sometimes we can get to a point where we're telling the hard truths, but they're too harsh. Find a way to utilize emotional intelligence, and it's like, so for instance, I heard this example one time. The wife is like, "Hey babe, am I getting a little out of shape?" And you're like, "Oh, no, but I was, one good way to reshape that is I was thinking that we could possibly start walking on the treadmill together. A couple that works out together, they stay together. Whatever your mix is, start making those changes a habit, a part of your daily routine. This is what we do." And once you start going into this is what we do, you're going to embody everything that you come across. Of course, you're going to have failures, but you're going to feel so much better because you decided to do something better than doing nothing. So, this is Hungry Millennial, back again with another Jordan Peterson, one of Jordan Peterson's 12 rules for life. Rule 8, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. If you enjoy this podcast, you have some feedback, there's something that you would like to cover, pretty soon I'm going to be coming out with another series, interviewing millennials and different people about the current lay of the land for success in their lives. So if you have any questions or any feedback or something that you might want me to cover, you can reach the podcast at PROACTIVE20@gmail.com. That is PROACTIVE20@gmail.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys.